Bada boom! Hand clap to the massive guys. We are finally back again for the very second reaction video of this year. Mystelics reaction, guys. Big up the Mystelics family one time for definitely jumping by and saying Mystelics in the building as well as the people's peeping in. Come on in! Ninja Storm, come on in, brothers and sisters. Become a part of the Mystelics family by definitely subscribing and turning on and put that post notifications so you can get all the videos as they tend to come through, guys. Click subscribe, click the bell, and then click all, brothers and sisters, so you'll be notified when I drop my videos right there. And then give this video a thumbs up. I would appreciate that, guys. We're gonna be reacting to the protest of that which the protest action for electoral reform outside of the parliament, the first parliament thing that was yesterday. I see this thing was posted up 11:25. I think it was about 9 o'clock or something like that they started. Anyways, guys, let's get into that person looking like Lofty. Hey, Lofty, what's the word there? Okay, yeah, there's Lofty. You might that, or you might that battery, man. Fix the mic.
We are live outside of the Parliament building where a number of citizens have gathered for protest action calling for electoral reform.
How we can be calling for electoral reform again when the Prime Minister promised in 2019 that in 100 days he will organize for electoral reform. Then it happened, finally putting things in place. Measures going to take place like phase 1, phase 2, whatever, phase 1 and phase 2. Just like the Prime Minister Hospital, phase 1 and phase 2. But we're back to square one again. Back to square zero, baby, from my understanding of this whole thing. Let's continue.
Today is the first session of the 11th Parliament where a number of matters are expected to be tabled, but a few citizens have gathered and they are letting their voice heard for their calls for electoral reform. So we're going to give you a view of what is going on at this moment. Mr. John, good morning.
Back. No more sham election, I agree. Trying to bubble this in and then telling the people. Well, he didn't tell the people, he tell them Dennis Byron. Hey, I didn't get the message, no, I didn't get the letter. A whole month after I get the letter, you have to be a special kind of tebe for you to believe that.
So we have the former parliamentary representative for the Salisbury constituency, Hector John. He's carrying his placard. Mr. John, can you tell us the reason why you decided to join the protest action today?
I see it as a way to send a clear message to the so-called Prime Minister that enough was enough. He has less than 30% of the electorate voted for him. So that means he's a mini minority Prime Minister. So they don't have the support of the majority of the country. So that
OAS actually stated that very thing right there. They said there was record-breaking low voter turnout across the island. They stated this very thing right there. So, yeah.
People want them out. And the only thing he needs to do in Parliament for us now is electoral reform. He had the opportunity to put on the other paper some of the amendments that was recommended by Dennis Byron. He had the draft in his hands and he failed to.
Yeah.
So it shows that he continued to disrespect.
He's not planning to electoral reform. He wants to do electoral modernization. So you come and vote on computer. But that's kind of easy, no boy. Well, your Prime Minister not easy, no boy. But that's more fancy, boy. That's more fancy, boy.
The people of Dominica, and the people of Dominica should begin to understand. Anybody that is bringing discomfort to the democratic process,
true,
must be made very, very uncomfortable.
True. That is both. It can, whether it's UWP that there, whether it's DLP that day, whether it's Freedom that day, whether it's UPP that day, whether it's APP that day, whether it's all the other PPs that day, whether it's PAPPs that day, whatever. You should not affect the democratic process on basis of free and fair. You should never. And he has been doing this constantly, then coming and lie to the media. Telling the media that elections so far has been free and fair. Even though CCG had reported and said they are very disturbed of these tents, and these tents need to be corrected and fixed. The Prime Minister completely ignored what the CCG had to say, so he can win as a result of Anthony Tony Astafans telling him, no, you cannot have electoral reform that will ruin your re-election legacy. So they know where the problem stands, where they will not be re-elected. So they're keeping it away from the people and making all kind of funny electoral modernization. Are they foolish? We cannot all be foolish. We cannot all be foolish, brothers and sisters. Come on.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. So we have a few.
That is bringing discomfort to the democratic process must be made very, very uncomfortable. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. So we have a few people gathered outside of the parliament today for protest action calling for electoral reform. Today is the first session of the 11th sitting of parliament here in Dominica. A number of matters are expected to be tabled. The citizens have gathered calling for electoral reform. Mr. Luge, good morning. Good morning, how are you? I am good and you? I'm good, thank you. We are live for Dominica News Online. Would you like to tell us the reason for being here today?
Well, today I'm standing in solidarity with every Dominican. Those that are here and those that are not here, those that are not able to make it here today. We are still talking about electoral reform, filling the voters list, getting voters ID card and election. What was done in December, this was no election at all. Dominica have never seen this before, and only this seats and call himself as the Prime Minister of Dominica. And people are still dissatisfied. We have seen the price of sugar went up from 6 after December. Flour have gone up. We have had problems with gas for the past time. And yes, Dominicans who are saying they are not satisfied. And I, as a Dominican, I am not satisfied. I'm very much.
That's how everything going on in Dominica. Guys, what is on the rise? Can somebody tell me? Labor rights, everybody out there, what is on the rise? Please, I would like to know. I just come back, I come back. I want to know. I want to know. Does it only rain in Dominica? What is on the rise, brothers and sisters? In Dominica, poverty is on the rise. What is on the rise? Really and truly. As God is my weakness in my heart, God knows my heart. I'm trying to figure what is on the rise.
That has been happening here in Dominica. Whether we still believe in electoral reform, we still believe in cleaning the voters list, person should have their voters ID card. If you go to any Dominica area, voters ID card. For example, if you go to Monica or Western Union, and if you have a voters ID card,
guys, my battery just died there, but we are back. Let's go.
that is expired, they will tell you straight up, it cannot be used. So why is it that our elections, we're all over the world, people is cherishing this? There are persons who tell that they give their life and they will give their life for voting. And why is it in Dominica here that we have one little man who believes that he controls and rules the country and is doing the right thing?
You think he's king, and then his subjects under him, making him think that he's king, but he's not. He's using the system and the very people that he has put in positions to ensure that the people do not reach to him. Be keeping them, you know, look a little dregs, man. A little more than the breadcrumbs. Look.
And we have to continue to stand because I believe in democracy and I believe if we continue to go down this road, maybe in the next few years time we will not have a Dominica.
Nope.
So this is why I'm here today.
Dominica is going down the drain, brothers and sisters. And I know a number of persons saying, but the rest of the world too. Not the rest of the world. That's lie. Why are places like St. Kitts elevating? Like look at Grenada's GDP, one of the lowest from debt to GDP debt to GDP ratio. One of the lowest. Dominica has been in deficit for 3 years. We had 114% debt to GDP ratio. Then it was 109, and then I think it's 102 in 2022. Now we have the CBI program that is dropping. The government himself admitted, himself admitted that there's less revenue from CBI. Therefore, how on earth do you expect the debt to be cut? Boy.
And I'm standing for peace and justice.
Okay, thank you so very much. So for those of you who are just joining our live
We demand fresh elections.
We are live outside of the Parliament building with a number of citizens who have gathered calling for electoral reform. On the way right now is the first session of the 11th Parliament following the December 6th general election. Here we have the former parliamentary representative for the Roseau North constituency, Mr. Danny Luge. Mr. Luge, good morning to you.
Good morning. It is a good morning.
Bright and sunny. Mr. Luge, we see that you have joined protest action this morning in the call for electoral reform. Can you tell us why you decided to participate in this?
Well, the demand is simple. By first quarter of 2024, we should have a real election. What we had was a sham election. Electoral reform was promised by this.
What's going on?
Just to lie to the Dominican people. And we demand fresh elections no later than the first quarter of 2024. Everything.
Guys, do you think that'll happen? Do you think that'll happen? The only way I believe that'll happen is if the people demand that they want fresh elections. If the people, majority of people come in here, 20, 30,000 people, elections must happen. So the people have to definitely make sure, like in the previous reaction video I did on the legislation and all those kind of things, and talking about the fourth estate of the branches of government, which is the media. You have to be, the people, the media is definitely the media should definitely put this out there for the people. Hold the government account to this.
For example, the cleansing of the list must be put in place.
True. Voter ID cards.
Campaign finance reform must be put in place. Voter ID cards must be put in place. All of that to top it up. Fresh election no later than the first quarter of 2024. It's simple.
So you all are calling for election by the first quarter of 2024.
That's correct.
And if your demands are not met, can you give us a hint as to what will...
What I will do, what we the people will do. I remember the last gathering we had outside, the session was being put in place. I was in the parliament and SKERRIT pulled it back. So it is clear when you don't have to have 1,000 people, but the people must be vociferous.
No man, we need 20,000 people. 22.
And the people must be steadfast. So the call is, those of you who are at their homes, they can see it.
Don't worry, it go reach international. It must reach international. Once there's a lot of people there, it must reach international. I telling you that.
Numbers growing, come out, step up, don't be a spectator. When you want change in your country,
True.
You have to be a participant. So that's what the demand is. Fresh elections no later than 2024, first quarter of 2024.
Thank you so very much. So we have a heavy police presence at this gathering today. Police are keeping peace and order. As we know, the first session of the 11th Parliament is presently underway in Dominica.
And the funny thing is, some of these police officers don't want to be there, you know, guys. Some of them don't want to be there, and sometimes they put in the very people who they know oppose the government there. But that is something else, boy. They put in the very people who oppose the government there to prevent their own people from coming through.
But citizens have gathered outside of the Parliament building protesting, and they are calling for electoral reform. We're going to try to get a few more of the protesters. Good morning. So we are here with Mr. Isaac Baptist, former president of the United Workers Party. Good morning to you, Mr. Baptist.
Yes.
How are you?
I'm good in here.
Good, I'm fine.
Welcome to Good Streets.
Thank you. Can you tell us the reason why you decided to participate in the protest actions today?
As you know, the United Workers Party, and which I am the immediate past president, I left the office in November last year. And the people of Dominica generally, the electoral reform group, of which also I am a resource person, insisted and demand that there be immediate electoral reform and that there be fresh elections by April
April of next year, mid next year or the latest, because we know that for the last 3 elections, it has not been fair. It may have had some elements of freeness, but it has not been fair. And for you to get the government the people deserve, for you to get a real government, take care of the needs of the people, you need to have free and fair elections. And as simple as that. And the administration of Mr. Roosevelt SKERRIT is provoking the people of Dominica. And it continues to provoke the people of Dominica by not adhering to what was agreed upon, what he promised the people. He has behaved in bad faith when he called elections in December of 2022.
Okay, we get that. Let's move on. Let's see if we can get somebody else, guys. We don't have all day.
Coming from is that
We don't have all day.
good.
Electoral reform. I will do everything it takes. Roosevelt SKERRIT is not the manager of this country.
Well, he is the manager of the country at present. He's not the king of the country. He's not his own. So, yeah.
Never reform. When you only will skin him by his ball and the right time. You have to have the electoral reform. So we are here protesting hard. I am so and I have no this. I don't say, okay, they don't like soaps, they don't like panel, they don't like nice, they don't like what. Because they see the issues of the day as it comes.
There had some really, he had a really nice song, you know, guys. Really nice song. But it seems like a lot of, there have been some involvement with the government in the thing, man. Because based off the crowd reaction and the vibes of the people, I could tell a number of people. Checo was one of the individuals I expected to make it. But on the basis, maybe his mic was sung in muffle or something. I don't know. Because even when I was listening back on the audio, I mean, I was hearing it, you know, but I had to pay real close attention. I don't know if it's the mic or whatnot. I don't know. But I think Checo should have made that. Some of the folks that made it, I don't think should have made it. But, you know.
We are here protesting hard.
Alright, we get that.
And still get the hell out.
Give the people what they want and still get the hell out.
So these are the people.
Well, if the people want them inside, that's why I stand, you know, guys. If there's free and fair elections and they vote SKERRIT them back in, I agree. It has been free and fair, and that's the will of the people. But the government not coming and pass everywhere, or you have his people going over here and giving people how much money and think to go and vote for them, and then they win it. That cannot be free. That's bribery. That's bribery. But that's definitely bribery. Going out there and giving people $300 and to come and vote for you. Huh? Why you giving them $300 because they can't pay their light? where was the $300 before when they couldn't pay their light? And there's burning candle black is white. Anyways, we need voter ID card. Dominicans, wake up, open up your eyes. Your country needs you. Be patriotic, stand up and fight for Dominica.
Dominican, wake up, open your eyes. Very much.
You could have catch the lady when she not eating. Hey. Why you have to leave?
Okay, thank you very much.
What is that? Duncan is a passport. I don't know what is that. We need voter ID.
Side of the Prime Minister Roosevelt SKERRIT have already indicated his intention to nominate former Speaker of the House Joseph Isaac for that post.
Yeah, we're not listening to that one, huh? It's just nonsense that you can. Oh, that's what they are.
Good morning. So here we have Miss Magla Laura. Good morning. We see that you are joining the protest action this morning.
Well, you know, I was gonna stay out of it, but
I decided to walk up the hill and check it out. I would actually ask the police on the other side, hey, where's the protester? They said they don't know. But I found out where they are. There they are.
Okay, so you're joining the call for electoral reform this morning?
That's right. You know, to get SKERRIT out of office, to get all these guys, all of them, get stepped down.
Not just them. There's those in office, but there are those in positions that are keeping Dominica down. Guys, my whole thing when it comes on to the political atmosphere of Dominica is the elevation of the people. That is my whole thing. If I'm not seeing the people elevating, then the people who are in charge need to go. It's obvious that they're screwing up the place. And it's very obvious. You look at the growth sectors of Dominica that actually contribute to the economic development of Dominica. It's all dead. Give me one growth sector apart from the construction industry that is being handled by the foreigners. Give me one growth sector in Dominica that elevating. Don't worry, I'll wait. You know, leave it in the comment box below, guys. If you know, I don't know. And I understand economic well, you know. I understand the economy and economic well. I understand economy well, brothers and sisters. So,
thank you very much.
You can't do your job, step down.
Yep.
So
unless his job is for himself. Look Lennox over there.
We have the past leader of the opposition, the United Workers' Party, Mr. Lennox Linton. Let's see if we can get an interview today. Dominica News Online. In the protest action this morning.
Electoral reform. The process of elections in Dominica has been hijacked by the Dominica Liberal Party.
She's not watching the video.
And it is an obligation on the people of Dominica to reclaim their electoral process. We have now the report of the Dead Environment from that consultancy on which the public purse spent $650,000. We have a timetable from the consultants for the implementation of legislation in the Senate. And we see the government ignoring them again and kicking the can further down the road.
So they spend a set of money. Wait a while. So they spend $650,000 for nothing. That is money that could be used to do things in Dominica. When you put in money set aside to do certain things that you say that you'll give to the people and you're not doing it, you're just throwing away the money that could actually be used to help the people. To build factories, $650,000 could build a factory or two.
A very good day for the people of Dominica to register their concern and to say clear to the government that delays in the process of implementing the recommendations of electoral reform will not be tolerated.
They have been delaying this. I've been telling you guys this from the last time, since 2019. I tell you what the Prime Minister is doing is killing time. They made it seem like they were having meeting for electoral reform, and they did it a number of times. I think there are three or four meetings every other month as time was drawing near. I told you guys they were killing time. 2019, still 2023, still no electoral reform. Another elections had happened in 2022. No electoral reform happened. They want another mandate for 5 more years. So if that doesn't happen, if the election doesn't happen in 2024, in accordance to what they're saying right there, it's still 2028. Can you take 5 more years of
We had a sham election in 2022 when we should not really have had an election. The election was constitutionally due in 2025. So SKERRIT said he wanted to reset. So he had the election. So he had the election. What happened to the election? 69% of the people of Dominica, 69% of the electorate boycotted the election. They had no interest in it. So the sham election delivered a minority government that
doesn't reflect the will of the people. That's true.
For all intents and purposes illegitimate. We need fresh elections. And this is the beginning of the public outcry and statement to the Prime Minister. To be clear, the people of Dominica, not any political party, the people of Dominica want fresh elections.
I think it's fair. It doesn't matter if UWP was there or not, and if that is the basis that actually happened. it would I mean the sentiment would be get fresh elections. Get fresh elections. Whatever happened in the DLP, why you had to call elections, or you checking boy reform happening, let me call elections again before reform actually happened. So in 2025 I can actually leave. If that be the case, then call elections in 2024.
And they want fresh elections no later than the end of the first half of 2024.
Because don't get me wrong, I think something actually happened in the DLP team. I think a number of persons were not happy about what was going on, and I think, you know, there was what do you call it that? Crap, what is it what I'm looking for now? I seen it in my head, you know, but I can't get it out in English. That's something else. A vote of no confidence into the Prime Minister. So I think a lot of that was happening, and as a result, you know, they get prizes and whatnot to stay quiet, and another election was done. They changed some people.
That's why I'm here today.
Thank you so very much, and you're prepared to stand with the people of Dominica for that call. Great.
You know, we have to reclaim our process. The Prime Minister has been standing in the way of electoral reform because he accepted the advice of Anthony Estefan in 2008 that reforms
would ruin his re-election legacy.
Was madness and would interfere with his re-election legacy.
Yep.
And from since that time, it has been one frustration after the next. While people are interested in...
So since 2008, they're asking for electoral reform. Since 2008. That is 15 years ago, you guys. 2008 to 2018, that is 10 years, 8 and 3. That is 15 years, 15 years they're asking for electoral reform.
Only trying to get their electoral process fit for the purpose of free and fair elections.
It's not like they're asking to say, oh, let us come in. They're asking for a free and fair election. So whoever wins the free and fair elections will reflect the will of the people.
Linton, one question many people are going to say, your party did not participate in the last general election. So why now are you all having that protest action? Why not in December?
No. We did not participate in the election on principle. There was no need for any election without reform. There was no urgency in the country. The Prime Minister deliberately did this so that he could protect what Tony Estefan told him he needed to protect, which is his re-election legacy. He cannot protect the re-election legacy with reform. So he wanted one final election without reform, and he rushed and had it, the snap election. You notice he said he's going? That's his last election. Trust me, SKERRIT will not stand for any election in Dominica where reforms have been put in place. He has agreed to go.
Thank you so very much. We truly appreciate your time. So here we have the organizers of this event is Mr. Loftus Durant. We are going to use the opportunity to speak to him. Now, isn't there... Hi, good morning to you, Mr. Loftus Durant.
Good morning to you.
And how are you? Organizers of this event today, can you tell us why did you rally the people of Dominica to come outside of the parliament to protest for electoral reform?
Well, this is just a continuation of the rallying of the people. That is no new thing we are doing here today. A matter of fact, the call for electoral reform has been on for a number of years. And we have not been seeing that call.
Nothing.
Be made manifest in a way that we really like. And so today is just another day where the parliament is supposed to be meeting today, but nothing on the agenda as it relates to why we are here today. And so we have decided to come here in our numbers to echo the call that even the man who sits in the chair of Prime Minister keeps saying over and over again. So we are just here to reinforce the call so that Dominicans can have a freer and fairer process when they go to the polls.
I mean, that is one of the agendas out there. That is one of the main agendas out there. And you mean to tell me that that wasn't even in the agenda for the first parliament? That wasn't even an agenda for the first parliament. You don't think this is willful? Guys, I'll post this link in the description below so you guys can definitely check it out right there. This is pretty much all about for this here reaction video. Don't forget to check out the previous one that I have in the first comment in the comment box below, guys. It's very sad what is taking place in the nature of the Caribbean. But of course, unless the people want change, they will then be repeating the very thing that they are constantly of living with and expect to have elevation. Really? How you expect to have elevation by doing the same thing over and over? They call that insanity. Albert Einstein was the one initiating that very thing. Doing a thing over and over, doing the same thing over and over and over and over, expecting a different result is definitely insanity. It's some mental illness in your head. I just pictured that in my head. Doing the same thing over and over, expecting something else to happen. Where they do that at? Guys, let me know your thoughts on this regard. Leave your thoughts in the comment box below. This is pretty much all about for this here reaction video. Give this video a thumbs up and subscribe and turn on that post notifications so you can get all our videos as they tend to come through. I'll see you guys in the next reaction video. Boom bang.